During this video segment, I will go over the new Flex scheduling tool within the Lesson Planner and Curriculum Trak. So here's an example of what that might look like. So if I go to the weekly planner for this teacher, in the past with the fixed schedule, it assumes that the teacher is going to teach all the same courses each of the 5 school days and in the same order. With the Flex scheduler, we can switch that around a bit. So notice on Monday we have Algebra 1 at 10 a.m. But on Tuesday we have chapel at that time, and therefore Algebra 1 is at 1 p.m. Wednesday it's back at 10 a.m. Thursday it looks like it's at 1 p.m. and then on Friday at 10 a.m. again. So it allows you to have a flex schedule, allows you to have those classes at different times on each of the 5 days. It also allows you to put in special items like this that aren't necessarily classes but still fit into the schedule itself. To show you how to do this, I'm going to go ahead and log in as a teacher that has not set this up yet. So you can see what it looks like start to finish. So I'm logging in as Angie Armstrong. And the first thing she should do is she will set up her schedule. Notice that she teaches Math 2 and Science 2 and Algebra 1. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and attach Social Studies to her as well. Okay, there we go. Now we have these 3 classes that I want to work with. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go to the class section setup, and that's where she'll set up her schedule. And if she currently set up to have a fixed schedule, I want to change that to a flex schedule. I'll click Save. And now I'm ready to go to add a block in. Make sure you click Save. If your screen does not show this, then it's probably still stuck in the fixed schedule rather than the flex schedule. So first of all, for math, I'm going to go ahead and put in Math 2. And then I can put the time that I'm going to teach that course each day. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and teach that at 9 a.m. and then 11 a.m. on Tuesday and Thursday. 9 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oops, I need to put the AM, PM in. And let's add in 9 a.m. one more time. And so now I have that done. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to Science. And so Science, I'll go ahead and call it Science 2. And position after really doesn't matter too much anymore like it does with the fixed scheduling. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and put this at 10 a.m. each day. And if it's the same each day, you can just copy it, and then that makes it nice and easy. You can just paste it in all these, and we'll click Add. And then I also want to add in Social Studies. So we'll just put in here Social, Studies 2, and we'll just do this real quick here. You don't have to have it every day. So for instance, if I'm only going to teach this 2 days of the week, you can do that as well. And then finally, in the other example that I showed you, it doesn't like that format. They either got to be both caps or both lowercase. I had a chapel in here, so let's say I want to add a chapel. The difference is if it's something that's not attached to a class, you just say not a class, put in the name of it, and so in this case I'm going to go ahead and say that on Wednesday and Friday at 1 o'clock p.m. we have our chapel, and I'll go ahead and click Add. Now that I have that done, if I go to my weekly planner, notice it has my schedule all set up and ready to go. Now you can add lessons one of 2 ways, just like you could previously with the fixed schedule. You can go to My Lessons database, and I believe this is a new teacher, so I don't know that she has any lessons. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and add in a brand new lesson. So we'll call it SS lesson number 1 for Social Studies lesson. Oh shoot, maybe that isn't a good idea. Yeah, let's make it a math one instead. I don't think I have any units set up for Social Studies, so we'll attach it to math. And then we can specify the dates. So for instance, if I want to have this on Monday and Tuesday, of this week, I can do that. I can put in my lesson plan content. So this really is not anything new really compared to what we had previously. So I'll go ahead and click add. What is new now is if I look at the weekly planner, notice it put it in on Monday and Tuesday, and even though they're at 2 different times, it really doesn't matter. It puts them in the right block there. So you can add lessons that way. You can also add lessons by picking on a particular day. So for instance, maybe I want to set up all my lessons for Wednesday. So I can click on this pencil and it shows me my 3 blocks for Wednesday. And I can go ahead and enter a lesson in here. We'll put in our math lesson here as well. Notice there isn't the ability to add a lesson here, and that's because there isn't any lesson. But I could use this plus sign if I wanted to create a lesson for science on the fly. Or in this case, I'm going to just put in a note instead. We'll put review day, and then as far as chapel, we'll put in here special speaker. I could put in any information that I want to, and I can click save. And so now if I click go back to the lesson planner, notice that it entered all 3 of those items in here. All 3 of those items for that day. So you can do it a day at a time, or you can do an entire block. So in other words, if I want to put in all my math lessons for the week, which would be here, 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 and right here. So to do that, I click edit block, and I'll choose math. And notice 2 of them are already in here. So let's put the 4th one in. And then maybe in the 5th area here, I'm just going to, again, not put in a lesson. I'll just call it a review day here as well. So we'll go ahead and click save. And now if I click go back, notice that it has all 5 items put in for that block or for that class section for the entire week. So that's this. Or you can edit just a day at a time by clicking on the date or on the pencil behind that date. So that's kind of the difference with the Flex Scheduler. That's how you set up your Flex Schedule template, the class section setup. And then that's also how you would work with it in the weekly planner itself. This now concludes this video on the Flex Schedule.